We've got some breaking news. I'm actually just still trying to absorb this. I sort of didn't believe the numbers when I first saw them, but we just got in some breaking news, some sort of amazing news from the Donald Trump for President campaign. Today's a big deadline for all the campaigns. This is the day, the 20th day of the month, when they have to file reports on how much money they raised and spent last month. So this is fundraising and spending numbers for May. They have to file these reports with the Federal Elections Commission at the latest by midnight tonight. Sometimes campaigns release that information publicly way ahead of the deadline, especially when they have good news to share. That's how we know that Hillary Clinton raised more than $28 million in May. She started the month of June with $42 million cash on hand. But just in the last few minutes, we were watching for these tonight, but the Trump numbers appear to have come in, and they're almost unbelievable. Let me tell you, last month, this time, when we got numbers from Trump, it was incredibly bad in terms of their cash on hand. Last month at this time, they said they started May with only $2.4 million cash on hand. This month, it's worse. They started June with only $1.3 million cash on hand. Remember, Hillary Clinton started June with $42 million. Donald Trump, $1.3 million cash on hand. This is I mean, compared to Mitt Romney, for example, in 2012, Romney at this time in the campaign had $17 million cash on hand. Again, right now, Donald Trump is at $1.3 million. And in terms of the total amount that he's raising, this is just crazy. I'm just making sure I'm not missing a decimal point here. But I'm not. In May, Hillary Clinton raised $28 million. For comparison's sake, Mitt Romney raised $23 million in May 4 years ago. Donald Trump just reported that he raised in total for the entire month $3.2 million. And $45,000 of that was from himself. This is, I mean, we know that the Trump campaign has been preparing everybody to be very impressed by how shoestring this is. But they've got $1.3 million on hand to be running a campaign as of June 1st, as the nominee. Maybe they're going to do it by magic. I don't know. The other thing to watch for is that by midnight tonight, Bernie Sanders also has the same deadline to release his fundraising and his cash on hand numbers. But these numbers from the Trump campaign are absolutely devastating. That does it for us tonight. We will see you again tomorrow. Now it's time for The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell. Good evening, Lawrence.
Hi, Rachel. You know, when Donald Trump first started making noises, 5 years ago, about running for president, the very first thing I had to say was, he cannot afford it. This talk about I can pay for my own campaign. It was always clear to people who had taken closer looks at the Trump money pyramid that the pyramid was much smaller than people thought, and there was no way he could afford a presidential campaign. That's why I think we're seeing the numbers we're seeing tonight.
These numbers are stunning. I mean, the fact that he only funded himself $45,000 for the entire last month, that's one thing, but to only have $1 million cash on hand in June when you're the nominee, I don't even, my eyes deceive me. This is crazy.
Well, more to come.
Yeah, thanks, Lawrence.
Thank you, Rachel.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.